This is a question on data interpretation, okay, and it is from CAT 2024. So it is a very latest question, you can understand, a very recent one. The table given below shows the amount in grams of carbohydrate, protein, fat and all other nutrients per 100 grams of nutrients in 7 food grains, okay, in 7 food grains. The first column shows the food grain category. So which are the food grains over here? The food grains are C1, C2, M1, M2, M3, P1, P2. These are the food grains, okay, and these 7 food grains are divided among 3 categories. What are the food grain categories? One is cereal, one is millet and one is pseudo cereal, okay, one is cereal, one is millet and one is pseudo cereal. The first column shows the food grain category and the second column its code name. Code name means code name of the food grain, C1, C2, M1, M2, M3, P1, P2, this one. The table has some missing values and we have to fill up the missing values as usual, okay. uh, the following additional facts are known, okay. Now for picking up the uh, for picking up this table, let me see what I can do. 1 second, otherwise I will have to draw that entire thing. That will be difficult for me. Okay, this is going to help us. So these are the, we have to fill up these spaces, that's the point, okay. Now let us go to the questions, go through the instructions. Both the pseudo cereals means the last ones, both the pseudo cereals had higher amounts of carbohydrate as well as higher amounts of protein than any millet. Try to understand. Both of these pseudo cereals have higher amounts of carbohydrate, okay, as well as higher amounts of proteins, okay, than any millet. So that means these millets that you see, each of these P1 and P2 has higher amount of carbohydrates than any of the carbohydrates present in any of the millets. Each of these P1 and P2 has higher amount of protein than the carbohydrates present in any of the millets. Both cereals, now both cereals C1 and C2 have higher amounts of carbohydrate than any pseudo cereal. Okay, so both these cereals C1, C2 have higher amounts of carbohydrate than any pseudo cereal. That means these two values are more than any of these two values, okay. These are the relations that are given, but these are not very much concrete. We have to search for concrete relations. All the missing values of carbohydrate amounts, see, all the missing values of carbohydrate amounts for all the food grains are non-zero multiple of 5. That means I can take this one as 5a, I can take this one as 5b, okay, I can take this one as 5c, and I can take this one as 5d. Did you understand what just happened? It is given that all the missing values of carbohydrates amounts for all food grains are non-zero multiples of 5. So in this carbohydrate column, whatever empty spaces we have are nothing but non-zero multiples of 5. So 5a, 5b, 5c, 5d. Okay. Now all the missing values of protein, okay, all the missing values of protein, fat and other nutrient amounts for all the food grains are non-zero multiples of 4. Okay, all the missing values of protein, fats and other nutrients are non-zero multiples of 4. That means what, it will start from 4e, 4f, okay, this is 4g, this is 4h. Okay, now this I can take as 4e, this I can take as 4e, okay, this I can take as 4k, this I can take as 4p, okay, this I can take as 4l, okay, this I can take as 4m, this I can take as 4n. Okay, because it is given, it is that instruction is only given. If you see instruction number 2, that all the missing values of protein, fat and other nutrients, okay, all the missing values of protein, fat and other nutrients for all the food grains are non-zero multiples of 4. So that means all the empty spaces, empty cells that we have for protein, fat and other nutrients, fill them up with multiples of 4. Okay, now P1 contained, instruction number 5, P1 contained double the amount of protein than M3 contains. P1, come to P1, talking about protein, this one. P1 contained double the amount of protein than M3. So here we have M3, here we have 4H. If this is 4H, then this is going to become what? 8H, yes or no? Did you understand? Whitener, I applied whitener over here, just like you apply it on your copies. Okay, so this becomes 8H. Did you understand why? It is because of the instruction number 5. P1 contained double the amount of protein than M3 contains. So this is P1 and this is the protein under P1, okay, this is M3 and this is the protein under M3. So we have 4H and this cell contains double the amount of protein present in M3, which is 8H, right? Now we have to find out these values, right? 4m, 4m, this 4k, all these things we have to find out. How to find out? Now this instruction number 1 and instruction number 2 will help us. Both the pseudo cereals, now see, both the pseudo cereals, that means talking about this thing, as I tell this sentences, follow the table. It is difficult, but anyways you have to do that. Both the pseudo cereals, okay, had higher amounts of carbohydrate as well as higher amounts of protein than in the millet. So in pseudo cereal we know this is 66, we don't have to bother anything about it, but we know this is 5D. Okay, this is 5D. Now come to millet, now come to M, come to this thing. Okay, it has, now pseudo cereals has higher amounts of carbohydrate than any of the protein present in the millets. Now you see in the millets in M1, M2, M3, 5C is unknown. I don't know what is 5C. I know 62 and 56. Now try to understand the meaning of this statement, that both the pseudo cereals had higher amounts of carbohydrates as, forget about protein, this one you don't have to consider now. Okay, both the pseudo cereals have higher amounts of carbohydrate than in millet. That means in millet whatever carbohydrates are present in M1, M2 and M3, pseudo cereal always has more than the carbohydrates present in any of them. Now you tell me, out of these three things, if you 62, 5C and 56, I don't know if you 5C, you can neglect 5C for now. Okay, there are two values, 62 and 56. You tell me which one is the highest out of them. 62, right? 62. Here we already have 66, which is more than 52 and 56. So according to instruction number 1, 5D should be greater than 62 because this is 62. So 5D has to be greater than 62. Yes or no? Because if 5D becomes greater than 62, it automatically becomes greater than 56, because that is what has been stated in instruction number 1, that both the pseudo cereals had higher amounts of carbohydrate than any millet. So that means the carbohydrates which are present in P1 and P2 is more than the carbohydrate present in M1, M2, M3. That is why I took FD is greater than 62, because 62 is the maximum value of carbohydrate present among the two cells, 62 and 56. Please tell me if you have understood this part, because this is what we are going to follow throughout. Rachel, Orijit, Paroma, Dipakshi, Bhavna, Ananya.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now
Yes, sir.
भावना कैसे हो? सब ठीक है?
हाँ सर.
Okay, now see this particular row. अच्छा, now the sum of all this value 5D plus 14 plus 4L plus 8 is equals to 100. Okay, why it is 100? Because it is given over here that the table below shows the amount in grams of carbohydrates, protein, fat and all other nutrients per 100 gram of nutrients per 100 gram. So that means these values which are there are distributed among 100 grams. That means all these values add up to form 100 gram of P2. All these rows, all the values in these rows add up to form 100 gram of P1. All these values of M3 rows add up to form 100 gram of M3, right? Now 4L, so this is going to be 2278 minus 5D, right? Now what is 4L? 4L is a multiple of 4, yes or no? Because it has been given that this values of protein, the empty spaces of protein, fat and other nutrients are multiples of 4. So that means this 4L is a multiple of 4, right? Now you tell me what, and this is a multiple of 5. 5D, it's a multiple of 5. It cannot be a multiple of 4, it has to be a multiple of 5. Also 5D is given greater than 62. Now you tell me which value of 5D I should take which is greater than 62 such that on subtracting I get a multiple of 4. Which value of 5D I should choose which is greater than 62, okay, that is a multiple of 5, and on subtracting from 78 I get a value which is a multiple of 4. Tell me. See, what are the different multiples of 5, 5 can I get which is more than 62? 5D can be 65.
65.
But if 5D is 65, then 78 minus 65 is what? 13. 13 is not a multiple of 4. 13 is not a multiple of 4. So 5D has to be 70. Then 4L is going to be 8. Did you understand? Please tell me, have you understood? Everyone, this is what we are going to follow throughout. Rachel, Orijit, did you understand
Yes,
this part?
sir.
We got 5D and 4L. We don't need to find out D and L. We just need 5D and 4L. That's it. So one part is done. Now, if we come to instruction number 2, if we come to instruction number 2, you see both the cereals, now talking about cereals, both of the cereals had higher amounts of carbohydrate than any pseudo cereal. So now what is 5D we got? We got 5D as 70, right? Let me apply Whitener again. So we got this 70, right? Now that same concept is applied on C1 and C2. It's given that both the cereals have higher amounts of carbohydrate than any of the pseudo cereal. So now you tell me, so 5A, okay. So since both of these are unknown, you see 5A and 5B, both of these are unknown, right? So both of these are unknown. So I can say that 5A is greater than 66 and I can say 5B is greater than 70, right? Because both of them contain more carbohydrate than any of the P1 and P2. So if I take that 5A contains more cereals than P1, so 5A is greater than 66. Now let me take this one. So 5A plus 4E plus 0 plus 12 equals to 100. So 4A is equals to this is 80 minus 5A, right? 80 minus 5A. Okay. Or say we can say that, yeah. So since 70 is the highest value, okay, we can say that both of them should be greater than 70, right? Because it is given that both the cereals had higher amounts of carbohydrate than any pseudo cereal. So here 70 is the highest value, right? 70 is the highest value. So 5A should be greater than 70 and 5B should be greater than 70. Now we are taking this row. In this row we have 5A plus 4A plus 0 plus 12 equals to 100. Now what is 4E? 4E is 800 minus 5A, right? Now you tell me which value of 5A should I take such that it is greater than 70, and on subtracting I must get a multiple of 4. Tell me a value of 5A which is greater than 70, that means 5A means for multiple of 5, which is greater than 70, and on subtracting from 80 we should get a multiple of 4. So this is 88. 100 minus 12 is 88. Can you tell me quickly, please tell me? A multiple of 5 which is greater than 70 such that on subtracting from 88 I must get a multiple of 4. Five A should be what? You see, if I take 5A as 75, 75 is also a multiple of 5. 88 minus 75 is what? 13, not a multiple of 4. After that 5A comes as 80. If I take 5A as 80, then 4A is what? 8. It is a multiple of 4. Understood? Just tell me if you have understood this part. Rachel, Odijit, Paroma, Ritama, Ananya, did you understand? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, so guys, did you understand this? How did we get 5A as 80 and 4E as 8? 4E as 8? Okay. Now let us take 5B. So this particular row we will take now. Here 5B plus 4F plus 3 plus 10 equals to what? 100. Again 4F is equals to 13. 100 minus 13 is 87 minus 5B. Okay. So 4F is 87 minus 5B. 5b has to be greater than 70. Now tell me a multiple of 5. Now tell me a value of 5b which is greater than 70, but on subtracting from 87 I should get a multiple of 4. Tell me one such value of 5b which is greater than 70 such that on subtracting from 87 you get a multiple of 4. Please at least try one. At least try once one answer. Tell me what can be the value of 5a, 5b. Arijit, you tell me. 5b is stated as greater than 70. So what value of 5b should be taken which is greater than 70 and when subtracted from 87 should give me a multiple of 4. Parama, can you try?
Sir, 71.
How is 5b 70 or 71? 5b should be a multiple of 5, right? It is a multiple of 5. Right? How is 71 a multiple of 5? Multiple of 5 means what? Something which is divisible by 5.
Sir, 75.
Okay, so if 5b is 75, okay, then what is 4f? 82, sorry, 12, right? 12, yes, this is a valid value. 5b can be taken as 75 and 4f can be taken as 12. So we got couple of values, let's put them. So we got 5a as 80, so let's put them. We got 5a as 80, let's put them. We got 4e as 8, let's put them. We got 5b as 75. Okay, we got 4f as 12. Okay, we got so many values. Fine. Now let's move on to the next one. Now let's go to this particular instruction. Now let's come to this part. Okay, as well as higher amounts of protein than in millet. So it is given that both the pseudo cereals have higher amounts of protein than in millets. So protein is what? This portion. This is protein, right? And millet, these are proteins, right? These are the proteins. So it is given that both the pseudo cereals have higher amounts of both the pseudo cereals have higher amount of protein than any millet, right? So now see, in the pseudo cereal part, we don't know what is the value of 8H, but we know the value of this particular value 14. In the millet we have three values of protein, 10, 4G and 4H, right? We have three values of protein, 10, 4G and 4H, right? So now you tell me, how can I relate 4G and 14? What relation can I draw? Because it is given that both the pseudo cereals have higher amounts of protein than the millets. That means millets have less protein than pseudo cereal. So I can write down that 4G, this 4G that I am talking about, this one is less than 14, yes or no? Because 8H and 14 is the amount of protein present in pseudo cereal. I don't know what is 8H. In the millets I have 10, 4G and H. Okay, so each one of them should be less than 8H and 14. So 10 is already lesser than 14, we can see. 4G has to be less than 14. So that we have put. Now again let us take this row, 5C plus 4G plus 7 plus 16 equals to 100. Now what is 4G? 16 plus 7 is 23, that is 77 minus 5C, right? Now you tell me, see 4G has to be less than 14, wait, I cannot, 4G has to be less than 14, okay? Now you tell me what value of 4G I should use which is less than 14, but the answer will give me a multiple of 5. What value of 4G I should use which is less than 14, on subtraction I get a multiple of 5. Tell me.
12.
12. If I use 4G as 12 which is less than 14, why not 13? Rachel, why shouldn't I use 13? 13 is also less than 14. Why not 13?
Sir, will not be a multiple of 5.
Right, it will not be a multiple of 5. 75 minus 13 is 64, so not a multiple of 5. But if I use 4G as 12, I'll get 5C as 65. Four G is 12. So where is 4G? Yes. 5C 65. Where is 5C? 65. Okay. We now need to find out this 4K, 4P, 4L, all these things. Let's see what information more we have. Okay, both pseudo cereals have higher amounts of carbohydrates and higher amount of protein than any millet, that is done. Both cereals have higher amounts of carbohydrate. Okay, that is also done. Okay. See, once we get 4H, did we get 4H? No, we didn't get 4H. We have to draw 4H now. So 4H, okay, 4H. We need to get 8H, we need to get 4P. Okay, so 4H is greater than 4h is less than 14, we can say, because we need to find out 4h, right? And it is given that each of these millets contain lesser protein than the pseudo cereals. 4h is less than 14. Okay, 4h is less than 14. Now let us take this portion. Is going to give me 56 plus 4h plus 12 plus 4n equals to 100. Okay, now 56 plus 12 is 32. 4n is 32 minus 4h. It is given 4h is less than 14, multiple of 4. Also this has to be a multiple of 4. So that means I can take 4h as, if I take 4h as 12, uh, 4n will become 20. Okay, that is one thing. 4n will become 20. This is one we can draw, but will it make the summation 100? That we need to check. So we have 56 plus 4h is 12 plus 12 plus 4n is also 12. Okay, see, the whole thing has to be 100, right? If I add all this, it should be 100. So 56 plus 4h plus 12 plus 4n equals to 100. Okay, or 4h plus 4n, 68, and if we subtract it from 100, is going to give me 32. So 4n is 32 minus 4h. Now it is given 4h is less than 12, right? So if I take 4h as 12, if I take 4h as 12, then what am I getting? I am getting 4n as 20. Let me write it in sequence. Okay, if 4h equals to 12, because 12 is also less than 14 only, then what is 4n? 4n is 20, right? Now we have to see whether it actually satisfies these values or not, because see, the summation of these values should be 100. That we have to maintain. It cannot go beyond 100. So if I add all of them, 456 plus 12 plus 12 plus 20. So what it is coming? Okay, it is coming as 100. Okay, so it is coming as 100. We can get 4h as we can take 4h as 12. Okay, and we are getting 4n as 20, and the summation is also coming as 100. Okay, now the thing is that if this is 4h which is 12, then this one is 8h which is double, right? So if I put this one as 12, then 4n becomes 20. Okay, this one becomes 20. This one becomes 20, and then this one becomes 12. Okay, then what is 8h? Because this was 4h and this was 8h, so 8h will be 24, right? 8h should be 24, double of this 12. If that is the case, we can find out 4p now. See, 66 plus 24 plus 4p plus 10 equals to 100. From here, let me find out 4p. See, what is 4p coming? 0, right? 4p is coming as 0, but 0 cannot be the answer. Did you understand? 4p is coming, this part is coming to be 0. If I take 8h as 24, then if I add this row 66 plus 24 plus 4p plus 10, 66 plus 24 plus 4p plus 10 and equate it to 100, I am getting 4p as 0. That means my this particular assumption was not correct, because it all rooted from here, it all originated from here. I took 4h as 12. I can take it, it is less than 12 only, and it is also giving me 4n as multiple of 4. But ultimately what is happening, 4p is becoming 0. So that means this assumption was not correct. I will have to change the assumption. Did you understand why I am discarding these things? These are some of the checks that you have to do. I got 4n, here it is given 4h is less than 14. I took 4h as 12 and I got 4n as 20, which is correct. But when I am using that value to find out 4p, I am getting 4p as 0. But 4p cannot be 0, because amount of fat present in the pseudo serial, it cannot be 0. There is a valid value for all of this. So what other value can I take? So we can use another check, that is we can pick up this 8h. We can pick up this 8h over here, this one. Okay, 8h is the amount of protein that is present in the pseudo serial P1. Okay, now this 8h, so that means I cannot use this one anymore. I have to replace all the values. Okay, so 4, I think this was G, right? Yes, 4G was there, 4H was there. I have to again find out these values. Okay, these values are not correct. This is 12, that is fine. 4H and 8H I have to find out. See, what I can do is that I can say 8H is greater than 12. This I can tell. Why? Because it is given that both the pseudo cereals have higher amount of protein than in a millet, right? And here what we have 8H and we have 14, right? And in this 3 cells we have 10, 12 and 4H. Which is the highest value? 12. So I can say that 8H is greater than 12. This one information we can draw, and then we can sum up this particular row. So we can do 66 plus 8h plus 4p plus 10 equals to 100. Okay, so 4p equals to, this is 66 plus 10 is 76, that is 24 minus 8h. Okay, 24 minus 8h. Okay, now you tell me a multiple of 8 which is greater than 12, but when subtracted from 24 will give me a multiple of 4. Please tell me 8h which is a multiple of 8 greater than 12, but on subtraction from 24 will give a multiple of 4. 8 ones are 8, cannot be, because it is greater than not greater than 12.
16.
16. If I take 8h as 16, I'll get 4p as 8. This is a valid value. Okay, so we cannot use this particular relation. It is not giving me the correct value. 8h is 16, 4p is 8. If 8h is 16, what is 4h? 8. Simple, because it is half. That means we got 4h, we got 8h, we already got 4g. Now we can replace the values. Now we can happily go and replace the values. So this is 16, this is 16, this is 8. Okay, now we need to find out 4p and 4l. Alright, 4p also obtained, that is 8. 4p also obtained. We need to find out 4l. 4l we can easily get 70 plus 14 plus 14 plus 4l plus 8 equals to 100. What is 4l now? Let's calculate. Please calculate this and tell me what is going to be 4l. 8. 4l is 8. So 4l is 8. Understood? Now we can also find out the value of 4k. Can we do that? Okay, 4n we can find out. 4n we can easily find out. If we take up this column, this row, and add all of them, 56 plus 8 plus 12 plus 4n. Okay, 56 plus 8 plus 12 plus 4n equals to 100. I can easily find out 4n. That is 24. Okay, so 4n is 24. We got all the values. Okay, we got all the values. Now let us solve the questions. Okay, we didn't get 4m and that 4k, that we will not get. We will have to keep it like that. Now let us come to the questions. Questions can easily be done now because we have done with the table. How many food grains had a higher amount of carbohydrate per 100 grams of nutrients than M1? What is the question? How many food grains had higher amount of carbohydrate? How many food grains had higher amount of carbohydrates than M1? So what is M1? How many food grains how many carbohydrates are present in M1? You can see 62. Now tell me how many food grains are there which have higher carbohydrates than 62? We have 80. 80 is there. Then we have 75. Okay. Then we have 65, which is M2. Then we have 56, which is M3. Sorry, not 56. Then we have 66, which is P1, and then we have 70. So there are 5 such food grains. There are 5 such food grains which has more amount of carbohydrate than M1. So the answer is 5. It shouldn't be 12. Missed. Okay. So the answer for this is 5. Question number 2. Please tell me, have you understood this one? Guys, please tell me. The question is, how many food grains are there, okay, which has more carbohydrate than this particular thing, 62. That is 80, 75, 65, 56, 80, 75, 65, 66 and 75 food grains are there. Alright. Now the next question is, how many grams of protein are there in 100 grams of M2? Fine. M2 is this protein in 100 grams. How many is there? 12. The answer for this is 12. Did you understand? 12. Then we come to question number 3. How many grams of other nutrients are there in 100 grams of nutrients in M3? How many grams of other nutrients? This is other nutrients. This is M3, and in 100 grams it is 24. So the answer is 24. Okay. What is the median of the number of grams of proteins present in 100 grams in this food grains? Median. Okay. Talking about what? Other nutrients. Talking about 100 gram of, what is the median of the number of grams of protein? Okay, protein. So protein, what are the different data we have? 8. Okay. Now we need to find out the median. How to find out the median? First of all, arrange them in ascending order. 8, 8, 10, 12, 12, 14, 16. Okay. What is the median? How to find out the median? Can anybody tell me? How to find out the median of this data? After arranging them in ascending order, count how many data are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So pick up the middle value. This is the median. That's it.